Hey, welcome. I have a quick one here for you guys today. I want to make sure that you don't get tripped up or stuck doing your own ABS diag on a vehicle like this Buick Enclave here. This happens to be a 2009, but I would think that this is going to fit for most of the GM product running a magnetoresistive style ABS wheel speed system. So basically we have a digital sensor reading from each of the wheels. The computer will send a low reference and the sensor will output a digital signal on that circuit. Now, we're not doing the variable reluctance, voltage generating style, anything like that. So I was going about my diag like normal. Test drove the vehicle, had no left rear wheel speed sensor operation. Okay, pretty straightforward. These things are super common for wheel bearings, right? The magnetic ring breaks off the back of the bearing, pretty straightforward. If you're wondering how that works or how the system works, check out the video here in the link above. You'll see a full system explanation and repair on a Chevy Malibu that I did earlier this year. But today's was a little bit different. I wanted to prove out that my circuit functioned because I noticed some green crusties in the connector for the ABS wheel speed sensor. So I did my traditional test where I take the right rear wheel speed sensor itself, the sensor harness, and I run it into the circuit of the left rear side. Basically taking the signal from one sensor, feeding into the circuit of another, verifying that the harness to the front of the vehicle works, verifying that the ABS module works, verifying that my connector with the green fuzzies is okay, that I can just kind of clean it up instead of having to replace it because it's so far gone. This is a 250,000 plus mile vehicle sitting behind me. They're not exactly trying to spend the most amount of money. If I don't have to replace the connector, that would be ideal. So I want to be able to prove it out. So I went ahead, disconnected everything, ran my jumper wires, looked something like this, and went to spin the wheels and nothing happened. Okay, so I have no wheel speed whatsoever. So maybe my harness is actually bad. So I know my right rear was functional, so that means the ABS module is good, the harness is good, the connector is good, all that's good. Is it possible maybe my left rear bearing isn't bad and just those green fuzzies is my problem child here? It's possible, so I took and swapped my harnesses. Now I'm running the left rear wheel bearing ABS wheel speed sensor harness into the right rear circuit going back to the ABS module, plug it all in, and spin the wheels, nothing happens. The reason why nothing is happening, guys, is because the vehicle has detected an open circuit and shut the circuit down. I go ahead and clear codes and still nothing, okay? Still does not operate. If we look at this on a lab scope, you'll see all of our circuits are currently reading at 0 voltage. Again, I said that this sends a low reference signal. In order to get that low reference signal back, in order for the PCM to recognize it again, to actually trust or use what's coming from the wheel speed circuit, you have to go ahead and shut the key off and wait for the ABS module to time out. That takes upwards of 20 seconds to do. So what I did, I sat in my live data, turned off my key, waited until my scan tool said no communication, flipped the key back on. Immediately the lab scope responded with my circuit reading at roughly 0.5 volt, spun the wheels, and it all made sense. I was able to get the left rear circuit to function with the right rear wheel speed sensor, which tells me that I have a sensor wheel bearing problem. And as you can see behind me here, I'm in the middle of changing out the wheel bearing. I wanted to just pause and share that story with you guys quickly because I didn't want you to run into an issue where you think you have more than one problem or multiple problems because of some sort of logic that the computer has to shut the circuit down, and a simple quick key cycle doesn't do it. You have to shut the key off, wait for the ABS module to time out, then turn the key back on. It'll prove out the circuit's intact and it will allow the signal to process, and then you'll see it on the scan tool appropriately. All right, so that was just a quick tip. I hope you guys learned something from that maybe. Maybe you'll use that tip next time you're dealing with an ABS problem. If you're wondering how to do the signal swapping from one bearing to the other harness, here's a link for a video where I did that in as well, so I'm not going to show it in here today. So again, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up, please. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon. That way you get a notification every time we publish a new video. Thank you again for watching, and as always, guys, happy wrenching. Thank you.